I'm gonna fight 'em off. Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. And the message coming from my eyes says, leave it alone, yeah.
Welcome to Talk to Terrence. Thank you very much for making it to watch the show despite any Seven Nation Army that may have been in your way. Thank you, Jazz. That was perfect. Because we have a show that's designed around just that. People, young Malaysians, inspired to do things that you would not think of doing in your normal life. I mean, we're talking pro wrestling, playing a violin, and doing it on a professional level on stages around the world. In fact, even paragliding while doing so. Yes, you might think I'm rambling on, but the truth is the guests that we have selected for today's show inspire young Malaysians to be just like them. Take on careers that are not really conventional. Now, recently, of course, we had this push towards STEM, which is all careers around science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And previously, it was doctor, lawyer, engineer, accountant, or otherwise, you're basically written off your parents' list of good kids. So this is something new for Malaysians, as despite this push for STEM, they're still inspiring to do things in the arts. Still inspiring to wear their talent on their sleeves. So we're going to talk to some Malaysians who have really challenged convention and have come out tops. They've been around the world performing, taking their talent to stages that they never even imagined they could when they started out doing so. So challenges, pitfalls, and of course that final takeaway on how you can be just like them if you choose to do so. So check in with us as our guests roll in to talk to Terrence today. But before we get into talking to these young Malaysians, here's a fact. Malaysia is becoming an aged society. That's right. We have more 60-year-olds today walking Malaysia than ever before. And the health of these 60-somethings and above is often called into question. We have, of course, the non-communicable diseases on an all-time high, heart attack, diabetes, and the likes. So how do we age, Malaysia? Are we going to age healthily and gracefully, or are we going to choose the path that is so expensive when it comes to healthcare? The choice is still very much yours, but my guest for Hello Fitness today will inspire you to choose fitness and health, because he is celebrating his 52nd birthday real soon. Wait till you see who I have for you. Now, don't go anywhere. Stay right where you are. Talk to Terrence. We'll be right back with our fitness guest right after this. Welcome back to Talk to Terrence. Thank you for staying with us. Now, as I preface this conversation that we're about to have, it's about lifelong fitness. That's right, staying fit no matter what age you are. And we can't run from this fact that Malaysia has already entered into that aging society group where there are more 60-something Malaysians than ever before in history. So on that note, my next guest is going to make you think about your fitness because he's celebrating his 52nd birthday real soon. Please welcome my guest, Randall Wong.
Thank you, Terrence.
How you doing, bro?
I'm great.
So something I didn't share with the viewers is the fact that you're the one that got me to sit down and think about how I eat.
Yes.
So is that where you started as well?
How it started was that time I was 17 years old. So it's never really about how I eat. It's more of aesthetic.
All right.
Because there was few phases of my life. From 17 to my 20s, it's all about being lean, gain good muscles so that I can wear tight clothes. I'm still wearing tight clothes. And then from 30s and 40s onwards, when I lost my dad, I lost my grandfather, both at the age of 60 years old, that gave me a different thought, different objective altogether. So when I know that my dad and my grandfather died really young, 60 years old, due to heart problem, which is also one of the main main chronic diseases in Malaysia, and that gave me a wake-up call that it could happen to me too.
Right.
So my main objective now is to eat healthily, so that I could grow older than 60 years old.
I think
older than my dad and my grandfather. That's my main objective now. So it's really about whether you want to eat to live or you want to live to eat.
Okay, well, that's a tough question for any Malaysian to answer, right? Because we live in this land where food is, abundant. But it's not just about eating. There's also some work that you have to put in, because those muscles don't come with food alone. You have to do something to actually aggregate that growth.
Yes.
So what is your secret? Is it just the gym?
There's no secret. That's a good question, but there's no secret. It's really about consistency. I really hope that all of us here, like you said, how we can grow old gracefully and healthily, and to minimize any kind of chronic illnesses is through the way we eat and exercise. Everybody knows that. So I'm sure all of us went for a medical checkup. Doctor will tell you the same thing. Eat healthier, exercise more, right? And I feel it's more about consistency.
But what types of exercise would you recommend? Because I think the type of workout that you can do in your 20s, 30s, and maybe even your 40s is significantly different from what you can do in your late 40s, 50s, and 60s.
You're right, it's very different now. Now I'm in my 50s, it's very different than how I work out in my 20s and 30s. Now I need more time to warm up. For example, when I first started in my teens or 20s, I can just do few sets or few reps of warm up.
What? Warm up? What is that?
Warm up. Right now, in my 50s, a warm up alone is like a full 3 or 4 sets.
Wow. Okay.
Before I dive into a real workout session, a real weight I'm supposed to carry.
Did you feel it though? I wonder. I mean, at your age, 50, do you feel different in terms of the working out, or do you feel stronger?
I feel different. I feel stronger in the first place because it's all about the consistency, how I build stronger bones, stronger muscles that allow me to do a lot of different workouts. And having said that, the part of the consequences of that, I also know that I need more time to recover. Right. So I don't do like few consecutive days of workout now, and I don't do heavy because like every man I met, they will just ask me, what's your
PR?
Yeah, heaviest bench press. So I never do heavy. I don't do heavy. I do high reps.
I asked him that also. What's your PR on the bench press, bro?
Yeah, that's a very common question especially at CrossFits. They will challenge you on how heavy you can carry on your deadlift or your squats. Say I don't do heavy.
Right.
I never carry heavy.
So it's I mean, for those of you who hit the gym, you know that the set and rep are basically how you define your workouts. What is the rep range that you currently use on any particular given workout?
Okay, right now I'm into this program called hypertrophy. Hypertrophy, where the objective is to gain lean muscle mass. Lean, not big. So you see those big guys in the power lifter who really can lift one rep heavy.
Right.
You don't see lean muscle mass in their body shape, right?
You see a powder keg.
You see big, but they're strong.
They're strong.
Right? Those are strength training, and my program now into hypertrophy is really into gaining lean muscle, where my repetition is going to be very high, like anything from 15 to 20 reps per set, times 4 to 5 sets.
Okay, I know you just saw an image on the screen right now. Don't be afraid of what you just saw. That's not what he eats every day. He does not just chew on greens and grass. We'll come to your diet shortly, but I want to stay on the subject of working out because there are a lot of fads when it comes to working out. There are shortcut equipments that are being sold online. Are you a fan of the good old school equipment that's already available and body weights, or are you into all this new age stuff?
I like to go combination because I believe in technology. So I always believe when it comes to different era, different time, different science and backup, scientific research, then I will need to do that, right? So for example, one thing that need to go back to fundamental are the bench press, the squats, and all the big muscles like your back row. Those are fundamental and never go out of style. We still call it the Arnold Schwarzenegger's way. And then when it comes to a smaller muscle group, for example, your arms, and you know that you can't move that fluidly compared to previous time, then you need to rely on machines.
Oh boy, okay. All right, well, it is learning as you move along. I want to quickly touch on your diet. What do you eat every day?
Contrary to many people thought, oh, I eat salad, and I don't eat salad. And I don't cook, I don't do meal prep. Right. Throughout my life, from 17 years old to now, I never cook. So I always tell people the kitchen at my home is always only for display purpose. You can't find any condiments, any oil, any vegetables in my fridge.
No chicken?
No chicken, no beef, no chicken, nothing.
So you eat out?
I eat out all the time. Afternoon, dinner, anything, I eat out. But when I order, I need to know what the choice I choose, right? I need to know what to order. That means the only thing I'll skip every day is the one dish wonder, I call it. You know what one dish wonder is?
What is that?
One dish wonder means a plate of fried rice,
okay,
a bowl of noodle, right? One single dish where you see a lot of starch, but few slices of protein. I don't do that. Okay. So the only thing I avoid is that. I like that food, but that falls under my weekend category.
All right, so he has a cheat day, he has
Yes.
A cheat meal prep. I think if you follow him on Instagram, we're going to plug him right now. Do check him out and you'll find out more about what he eats. But for now, my producer has asked you to torture me. But don't torture me lah, because I still have to get through the rest of the show. So we're going to do a movement type workout. Let's get to it.
Let's go.
Okay,
So
as we're saying, movement is key.
So as we grow older, being mobile, being agile is very important. We don't want to grow old like stiff, right? Then
Right.
you can't walk, right? Still able to move, and we want that. So let's get to our position. So maybe you could do next to me. Let's get into here. Knee on your floor, arm straight line with your shoulder. Create a nice square here. And slowly, we're going to turn that, kick out that first.
Kick out.
Yes, and lift off the knee, just 1 inch off.
Right.
Slowly turn your body, feet flat, arms up, and kick out that way. Butt down. Yes, and come back. And repeat the other side. And let's do it faster. 1,
Wah.
2,
Wah.
3,
Wah.
4, 5,
Actually, it's kind of fun.
6. Yes. See, you're doing break dance now.
Okay, it can get addictive. Thank you very much, Randall.
You're welcome.
This was a workout come... okay, that I can
Warm up,
survive.
warm up.
It's a warm-up.
Yes.
And you do this to warm up
Yes.
before your workouts
Yes.
as well. So I think that's some cool takeaways, how you can stay fit no matter what age group you fall into. Follow Randall on Instagram, check him out on all his socials, and find out his secret for fitness. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I will be back after I catch my breath. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Talk to Terrence. Now, when we left off, we were talking about staying fit for life. But now let's come to our main topic, which is going to focus on Malaysia, young and talented. Back in the day, there was a saying that all parents wanted their children to only be doctors, lawyers, engineers, or an embarrassment. I think that applies to some Indian children right now. Yes, I know, I feel you. But a lot of young people today are going off tangent. They're really finding themselves through their talent, through their artistic value, and carving out a niche market for themselves. In fact, my two guests have done something that, conventional wisdom wouldn't quite approve of. So let me introduce you to my first guest. She is Malaysia's very first female pro wrestler. Give it up for Poppy!
God only knows how much I need you. I could explode if I can breathe you. I'm on the ropes, 5, 4, 3, 2. Cause you're the only one, I guess I'll let it go.
What is
Well,
up?
I'll be without you, yeah, God only knows, yeah.
Welcome. So I got that right? You're the first female pro wrestler to be exported from Malaysia.
Yes, you're right.
Very first. So when did you start?
So actually it's a funny story. So I started when I was 17.
17.
I was actually still in high school.
Okay.
So I was like, I want to become a pro wrestler. So you know what, I'm gonna check out on Google. That's what you do when you're trying to look for something that you're unsure about. So I was like, go on Google. Like I actually trying to search for a school in professional wrestling school in US. But obviously I didn't go to the US. Then after that, I actually found Malaysia Pro Wrestling, which is the very first pro wrestling school in Malaysia, which my coach Ayas. And then, so I actually went for their tryout training. So my parents was actually against it. Yeah, but I went ahead anyways. So I actually lied to my mom. And then
She's watching right now, right? I'm just kidding. Carry on, no pressure. Spill the beans.
Yeah, so I actually lied to her one day. I was like, I'm going to my friends, but it was actually super early in the morning, so I need to catch a train. Back then I didn't have a driving license. So I went to a train, took a train for the first time for professional wrestling. Sorry, I've been nervous. So yeah, so I went ahead to the training, and then I actually loved it, so I continue to become a pro wrestler.
You have no reason to be nervous. Look at you in the ring, and look at what you're doing right now. You're just sitting here talking to this chocolate ball guy. Forget about nervousness. That's out the window because you're doing something that I could never dream of doing. I love pro wrestling, but I fell in love with the talking aspect of it, which is why I ended up doing what I'm doing. But in terms of, actually going out there and entertaining the crowd, that's something I think is beyond me. How did you find your calling? Who was your favorite pro wrestler?
That's easy because AJ Lee. Yeah, AJ Lee 100%. Like since back then when I started watching wrestling, and when I saw AJ, I was like, oh my god, I want to be like her. Yeah, so I got really inspired by her, and I actually started off as a very similar character as AJ, and then along the way, I slowly find my own, character in the ring, what's suitable for me. Yeah, so here I am.
So when it comes to AJ, she had many different characters. At first she was the valet, and then she became a little crazy, and then she was one of the longest running women's champion that was in history at that point in time. Of course, let's forget about the women's revolution because that only came about because of wrestlers like AJ and her style. So what about her really you think you carry on today? The moves or the signature poses or something about her that you carry with you?
I would say it's my signature, my finisher. Yeah, which I call it Shining Witch.
Right.
Yeah, it's actually inspired by AJ Lee. Yeah, so I actually kept that with me since when I started wrestling till now. Yeah.
So AJ, if you're watching, you don't only have legions of fanboys. You got a fangirl right here.
Yeah.
When it comes to performing in the ring, who do you look forward to facing, or who do you look forward to collaborating with?
At the moment, I would really like to fight Alexis Lee from Singapore. I have had matches with her in the past, but not a single match though. So I would really love to have a single match, like one-on-one against her one day. Yeah.
She was here recently. I think I saw one of the matches that she was performing against Phoenix, I believe, who's one of the other female pro wrestlers here in Malaysia who's made a name for herself. What's the scene like, you think, for pro wrestlers in general in Malaysia?
I think there's still not that many people know about it compared to many other sports. I think it's mainstream in the United States, but it's not so in Malaysia, especially when you talk about like Malaysia pro wrestling, like pro wrestling actually in Malaysia. So yeah, I think it still needs some time to like get there. Yeah, but it will eventually get there.
You believe you'll eventually get there?
Yeah.
I
I think it's getting there.
superstars like you are putting it on the map, and your performance in APAC wrestling recently, of course, is something that fans look forward to every single time. You enjoy playing the bad guy, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Why is that? Because you don't look like the typical bad guy, you know? Why do you enjoy being the bad guy?
I think it's because if you are a bad guy in the ring, it's actually very different with real life. So I feel like if I play the bad guy, it's a completely different version of me that you get to see. Is because my real name is Poppy. Usually people use like a different name, but I kept the name. So I want to play a different version of Poppy. So that's why I chose to be the bad guy.
And you do really well. I mean, your work in the ring is amazing. When you look at all of her videos, you can see how she's grown. And we're going to show you some clips, but please do check her out on social media so you find out more about the progression of this superstar, Poppy. When it comes to matches and putting on a show, what kind of prep goes into it? How much of it is physical fitness? How much of it is performance and mic work?
Okay, for physical, I think you really need to be fit. Yeah, because it's actually very tiring. Even though it's just like a 5-minute match, but it's actually really tiring. Like you need a lot of cardio, like you need a lot of like energy and then strength as well.
Which is why I stay on the mic.
Yeah, so like you need all that to be able to perform like let's say like a short 5-minute match. Yeah, so you need all that. So for me I do a lot of cardio. So I love cardio to train my stamina.
Rewind, you love cardio?
Yeah, I love cardio.
Oh my god. What planet are you from, woman?
So I do a lot of cardio. Yeah, so I love cardio because I'm smaller size. So like I'm not like big muscular in the ring. So I do cardio because I use my stamina to perform in the ring. I need to move fast, and then sometimes I need to pace myself. Like I need to know how to like control. Yeah, so all these things is very important.
What was your best match today? The one that you really think, this is signature of who I am?
Honestly, I like majority of my match, but if I were to pick, I would say is the match that I had in Singapore, SPW. It was my first international match against Alexis Lee and Tyra. Yeah, so that
Triple threat.
Yeah, it's a triple threat. Yeah, so that was my favorite match. Yeah, I really like that one.
All right, so a lot of people still think pro wrestling is fake. We're gonna prove them wrong right now because I'm gonna take one of your signature moves. Okay, normally when Ric Flair or Charlotte Flair does this, they go woo, but she's not gonna woo. So, do I need to take a deep breath for this?
You just need to relax.
I just need to relax.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Live on Talk to Terrence. I'm gonna take my first pro wrestling move.
You ready?
I'm good.
Okay.
Bismillah.
Okay.
Oh! Knocked the wind right out of me. But it's a good thing I have protection. Chest hair. Thank you very much, Poppy. That was very enlightening. We're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we'll meet another young Malaysian who's put her talent in front of everything she does and has recently skyrocketed to the moon. We're gonna be back with our next guest on Talk to Terrence. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Talk to Terrence. Thank you very much for staying with us as we explore young Malaysians who are talented and wear their talent on their sleeves. We're just in conversation with Poppy, who's Malaysia's very first female pro wrestler. Up next is someone who has taken her talent all over the world and is a multi-award winning violinist. Please welcome my next guest who's joining us here with her music, Jessica Liu. Not every day I get serenaded like that. That's so nice. It puts me in a completely different mood altogether.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the show.
Thank
Jessica.
you, Terrence, for having me. Hello,
Yes.
everyone. Hello.
You know what? Just now Randall made me do a workout. Poppy slapped me across the chest. And you have serenaded me with sweet music. That's
Yes.
so refreshing. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show. And I just want to ask you first and foremost, why did you decide to pursue, being a violinist and wearing your talent on your sleeve and, making that the way you earn a living?
Okay, actually, before I take in my violin, actually I'm a drummer.
You're a drummer?
Yes, I'm a drummer. Yeah, but it's the old style because it's already almost 10 or 20 years ago. So after graduated, so I actually one day saw my teacher playing violin on the stage. So I see him because normally we felt violin is actually like it's playing classical. It's very something like boring. It's only like Beethoven, Mozart, this kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, but my teacher he's playing pop.
Okay.
So I see him like dancing on the stage is what I did.
Okay.
So that day I decided what to pick up violin because of him.
At what age did you pick up the violin?
That time I already said after I graduated.
Right.
Okay.
So okay.
So it's but I feel that age is just a number, so I don't mind to tell
But
my friends. Yeah.
Look at you now. I mean, you're on international stages around the world. You're a multi-award winning performer. You have paraglided.
Yep.
Have you paraglided and played the guitar before, not Jess?
No. Not even paraglide.
Okay, so that is just out of this world. For someone who picked up the violin a little bit later in life, I mean,
Yes.
most people would assume that you practice violin growing up and then you become the superstar, but you picked it up later in life and there you are, paragliding while you play the violin.
Yeah, actually, I want to prove to everyone that because everyone, the first concept, music is have to start when you are young age, 5 or 6. So I'm started when I'm 22 years old, and I prove it. So actually, music is no limitation. That's why I do paragliding. Actually, paragliding, why I do because I want to tell everyone, music giving me a second chance, changing my life to become a better person because of music. That's why I'm doing paragliding. It's like I'm holding my violin and then fly to the sky. Yeah.
Wow. So I know that you guys are very accomplished in your fields, but I know it also did not come easy. There were a lot of challenges. And I
Yes,
think you
yes,
still face those challenges.
yes.
Let's start with you, Poppy. What are some of the pitfalls in pro wrestling? Is injury something that has been of concern to you?
Yeah, it is. It's actually very scary if you think about it. Like, if you get injured, you won't be able to like wrestle for like could be weeks or months or sometimes years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Edge, the neck surgery, and Daniel Bryan, the neck surgery. So
Yeah.
that's always on every pro wrestler's mind. And you faced something like that yourself.
I've gotten some injury before, like my lower back, my hamstring, but nothing too serious so far, and I do not hope to get any serious injury as well. Yeah.
Right, and for you, when it comes to income, there's no monthly income. I mean, we feel this
Yeah.
because we're both in a similar kind of industry where you're freelancers, basically. There's no fixed income. Is that scary?
Actually, playing on the stage is my passion. Actually, I have my own music school. I'm running education field in my as a full-time job. Yeah, so actually, income is still okay. Yeah.
So the stage is just your passion.
It's
you
my
have
passion.
that music school which actually generates income for you.
Yeah.
What kind of inspiring words can you give to people watching this right now who are thinking, maybe it's too late for me lah. I will never make it. I will never become Jessica Liu.
One thing I always want to promote is age is only a number. That's why I also teach in inmates in Henry Gurney. So they all are 14 to 22 years old, teenagers. So I want to prove to everyone that music, not only music, actually everything that you want to do, if you have that passion, you can success it. Just do it and just keep it on. Don't like halfway, then you give up. Of course you won't. So you have to just keep it on, and age is just a limit. Think out of the box. Yeah.
Right. When I started this conversation, I also talked about how traditional parents' mindsets are formed. So, Poppy, I don't know if you face this. I know I face this. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, maybe accountant. Otherwise, embarrassment. That's a running joke among traditional thinking individuals. But did you feel any of that? Like the pressure to conform and be the traditional kind of job person?
I do understand, like, you know, parents' concern about like my education, like even every other parents in general. But yeah, back then they did like wish like I chose something different. But I actually, you know, like I'm into sports like soccer as well. So like they never really liked it. So then wrestling, then they were like what is going on? Yeah, but slowly in time they learned to like accept it, that they're okay with it. Then yeah, so they're happy with it, and I'm also happy with it. Yeah.
And wrestling is this, you know, I think it's a sport that you can do for many years. I mean, look at Chris Jericho, right? He is Le Champion and he's 50 something. So I think you can do it for as long as you can stay safe and protect yourself. When it comes to you, Jessica, why do you think younger Malaysians now, they're choosing different career paths that the older generation probably may not understand just yet? Why is that? Why do younger Malaysians choose new careers like music, pro wrestling?
I think because now the technology is changing, so the knowledge that they have is more open, because we can get more information from online. So I think they have already changed the new mindset. What they want is already different than oldest. Yeah.
Who was your idol when you started off?
Beginning is David Garrett, yeah, and then now is Caroline Campbell.
Wow.
Yeah, she is a violinist, but she is a classical violinist. But why I love her, I like her because of course her skills is brilliant, and when she's on the stage, you can feel that her music, her skills, and her charisma is really attract me. Yeah. So sometimes I was following her style also. Yeah.
Yeah, we can see that you have that charisma on stage.
Yeah.
We are definitely looking forward to seeing you perform on a big stage. I know everyone that's just seen you with that 30-second intro is already inspired. I am looking forward to seeing you in our next show together. And she's always electrifying on stage. Likewise, both of you, you perform in front of a crowd as well, Poppy. Do you get stage fright?
Yeah, I do. Even till like now, I do.
How do you overcome that?
I just have to I just have to tell myself, like, when I get out there, when I'm inside the ring, I'm not Poppy, but I'm Poppy the badass. So yeah, that's how I overcome it.
You're Sasha Fierce.
Yeah.
Beyonce, Sasha Fierce, that kind of transition thing. So that is something that you do. You being very young and you perform at this level, you've been in Singapore, you perform all around the country, different venues, different crowds. Does the crowd reaction help and hinder your performance?
Yeah, because I'm the bad guy in the ring, right? So when they boo me, like they don't like me, that means that I'm doing my job well. Yeah.
Wow. That's difficult, right? Because if they boo you, you'll be like, ayo, I play wrong chord or what? It's very different. Very different world. Talk to us about how the crowd reacts to you and how that helps or hinders your performance.
Sometimes when I'm performing, if I saw someone is like watching his phone, then I will purposely walk beside him and I will see him what he's doing. I'm playing violin, hello.
While you're playing.
Then he will like, oh. Then he will start looking at me. Yeah. So because I think that interaction between audience and performer is very important, because the way that you smile and the way that you're clapping will be giving us a lot of confidence, a lot of encouragement that prove that you like my performance. Then we will actually play more than 100% for the audience.
All right, I think they're just getting warmed up here. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our closing remarks and, of course, some inspiring thoughts from both our guests. Don't go anywhere. Talk to Terrence. We'll be right back. And that's why we have Jazz on the show. He brings that acoustic feel, and he plays some of my favorite songs in a way I never even thought possible. But today we have the extra treat of having a violin and guitar combo on the show. Thank you very much for joining us, Jessica. Thank you, Poppy, for being here as well. I want to talk to you guys about the challenges that you face in your chosen careers, because you understand that the stuff that you do, not every Malaysian will inspire to do, but after watching you, who knows? Who knows? There might be the future Poppy out there, the future Jessica out there watching the show right now thinking, you know, that could be me. That could be me one day, doing badass moves in the ring, playing Can't Help Falling in Love live on show. I think these are truly inspiring talents. So I want to get a sense of your prep work before you actually embark on a performance, or before you actually embark on putting your show together. How much preparation do you do before you actually go on stage?
Actually, I have to practice it every day.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
violin is something like, it's a technique thing. If one day like you're not practicing, then your muscle will be starting forgetting the place and the feeling. So I actually have to practice it every day. And then if I got show like next week, then I have to double up. Maybe that one song I have to play like 10 times per day. Then I have to make sure every time is no mistake. If I have mistake, it's no count. And I have to do 10 times without mistake, then I only can pass. Yeah, because on the stage it's all live. I am not accept that I will make a mistake if I go on the stage. So if I make a mistake on the stage, I will be very fed up to myself. Then I will feel very guilty to my guests. Yeah, because I'm not doing my great job to my guests. Yeah.
And Poppy, prep work also is important for pro wrestler. I mean, we just proved with you taking the wind out of my chest that pro wrestling is not fake. I mean, it's real. You guys take those bumps, which actually means them falling down on the canvas, jumping off the top rope and landing, and you actually take those hits and blows. However, it's also important to keep the other person safe. So how much prep work goes into making sure that every time you hit the ring, it's an instant classic?
My coach always say this to me. He was like, don't worry so much, just enjoy the show, have fun. So I do exactly like what he told, like, you know, like he actually give us the prep talk every time. So I was like, okay, you know what, enjoy the show and have fun, yeah.
So how much preparation in terms of the moves and how you execute the moves do you do? How much, what I mean is, how much exercises, how many times do you run the routine? Is that all kind of factors that you take into account every time you go into the ring?
Yeah, every time we have to, like, you know, get used, practice our move sets. We all have our own move sets, so that's what we all do. So every time we practice what we do and make sure that it's safe for us and it's also safe for our opponent.
Okay, you can add the chest slap into your moves. That really worked. That really worked. I mean, I can still feel it right now. So this is what they do. Look at that. That's a bump right there, and you can't tell me that's fake, right? That's gotta hurt. I really applaud pro wrestlers because they're able to do all that on a weekly basis, sometimes on a daily basis. And something you guys don't know about what we're watching right now, these guys were actually putting on 4 matches in a day. And I knew because I was there calling the matches. So that's the amount of stamina they have. And this is a live rehearsal of how they actually do their moves. So it is kind of exercise, performance, routine, and realizing the risks that you work with. I also would like you to speak to young audiences right now watching about what kind of plan should they have if they want to become a professional violinist.
Hardworking is the key to success. You have to, because this is like the song I said, it's a physical thing. You have to practice it every day. So, and then second is you have to find an idol, because sometimes you will feel fed up when you can't reach the things. Then you will start fed up. Then you have to look for an idol to motivate you again. So I think it's quite important. Yeah.
Who would you like to collaborate with and perform with on stage?
Okay, actually, for my past experience, I collaborate with lots of local artists like Daniel, Jeremy Chu. But actually, I'm now looking forward to do, because just last time it's like more on entertainment purpose. But now I'm actually looking more on doing awareness thing. So I am more looking forward to collaborate with like CSR organization, something like No Shark Fin. Actually, I did discuss with them. I want to play violin under the aquarium, to show that actually shark around the sharks. I want to show to audience that actually shark is they can't hurt you if you not go and hurt them.
I don't know. Do they have ears? Can they tell if you're playing the right tune or not? I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that is quite challenging. I've never seen anyone do that before. Play violins for the sharks.
Yes.
You might just be the first one brave enough to do that.
Yeah, because I would like to prove that music is not only a hobby, but it's actually it's an amazing tools, a powerful tools that it can influence and inspire people, even animals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that, because
Yes.
I'll Google and find out if sharks have ears. Yes, you want to join us?
Yes, they did.
I should just bring my piano.
You bring a piano, go perform for the shark. If anything happens, she can run faster, faster because the violin is smaller than the piano.
I will just throw away already. I don't want the violin already.
All right, Poppy, for you, you've already mentioned your favorite or your most looking forward to local collaboration or regional collaboration. If you had a chance to go to the international stage, the big leagues, WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, who would you like to work with?
I would say Carmela.
Carmela. Carmela. Oh, okay, Carmela. Right. Okay, because I was looking at all the Charlotte Flairs and the Sasha Bankses of the world. Carmela. Why Carmela?
I really like her. I just like how, she make people hate her and all that, But, sometimes like you feel hurt inside, like when people booing you, when people like don't like you, like, ask you to get out or whatever. Yeah, but, she do all that because she's doing her job as the bad guy. So I really like that.
A bad guy and bad guy. Well, how?
Can. Yeah.
You can tell a story with 2 bad guys?
Yes, of course.
Wow, look at the confidence in this lady right here. So inspire the next Poppy watching us right now. What should she do to get to your level?
Get to my level. I wouldn't say that, but yeah, just go start right now. If you want to become a professional wrestler, this is your good chance to get started. Yeah.
And follow her first on Instagram. That's how you get started. Then you find where she trained, and then you can follow in her footsteps. So up next, we have a very special way we're going to close the show off. You have designed this closing with jazz for us.
Yes.
Is this your favorite song?
Yes, one of my favorite songs, because I feel that this song is quite lively and mostly all audience like this song.
And I've been told the World Cup is coming up real soon, so there's a teaser for you right there. I stopped watching football because it gave me too many heart attacks. who's an Arsenal fan, so you know, maybe all of you watching at home, you can feel my pain. Arsenal fans, we have a lot of heart attacks. So on that note, I want to thank you all for watching the show. First and foremost, I want to thank Poppy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for inspiring a lot of young Malaysians to come up to the ring and do what you do. And thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
I hope that more charities are paying attention. You know, that shark charity out there.
Yes.
I hope they have that tank all prepped and ready, because we want to be there and see
Okay.
you perform for the
Sure.
Sharks.
Sure.
Just as long as you bring Jazz and his piano along with you.
One song, Baby Shark.
Baby Shark.
Baby shark.
All right, thank you very much for watching this special episode where we try to portray young, talented Malaysians and a very different career path that they have chosen for themselves. I hope you're inspired this Merdeka month. Keluarga Malaysia Teguh Bersama. It also means that as we come from diverse backgrounds, we now would like to choose different parts for ourselves as we move forward as Malaysians. On that note, thank you very much for joining me. I'm Terrence, and we're going to close with this special featuring Jessica Liu and our very own Jazz.